All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And today, I am announcing that I am doing a mega comic sale this Friday, the 21st of June, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so it's a Friday. Now, one of the benefits I give to any of my viewers, whether you are a subscriber or not, is I do, like I'm going to do in this video, a sneak preview of all of the comics that will be on the auction on Friday. Now, the advantage of watching this video before the auction, you have the ability to make me an offer, and if it's an offer I cannot refuse, I will sell that book to you before the auction happens, so you don't have to worry about being outbid and pay more than you wanted to, or have somebody else end up buying it before you get the chance. So, I got about 25 to 30 comics, and there's some grails in here, so you may want to make sure you watch this. And I start with the quote-unquote cheaper books, and then go from there. So again, if you are interested in any of these books, now I'm not going to go into full detail into these books. Every single one of them except for one of them are graded books. I prefer to sell graded books because it just makes it easier for both myself and others, because you don't have to guess of what a grade might be, and you don't have to worry about if somebody says, like on eBay, somebody claims a book to be a 9.8 and you get it graded and it comes back a 9.0. So all of these books except for one are graded already. Unless there's a CGC or two, which there are. Any CGC books that are for sale, I bought already graded, so I don't know if they've ever been pressed or pressing will increase the value or do anything. But I also know that all the PGX books I bought raw and had graded myself. So books, for example, that may have a Marvel value stamp, I have verified that they're in there, so you don't have to worry about, grading companies switching books out, and I won't mention which ones. So, while I'm waiting for people to come in, I want to remind people that if you want to join my Patreon at patreon.com/WeLoveComics, every time that I do a video, I will do a shout out to all of my Patreon members. So as long as you stay consistent with being a Patreon member, you will get a shout out every time. Now, when you sign up for Patreon, it'll most likely say your full name, so I will not disclose your full name. And if you want, if you have, instead of, like, for example, I'll just use your first name. Instead of just your first name, if you want me to share one of your social network links, or your YouTube channel, or maybe an eBay store, contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and I'll set that up, so that's no problem. The person, now there is no minimum, because I know Patreon, you need at least $2 a month. So I don't require $10 a month or $20 a month to get this. You could do the minimum of $2 a month to get your name up on the list. But the person who has the highest Patreon account per month will always be mentioned last. So this way they get the most exposure and the most recent exposure. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate everybody, and I will never disclose dollar amounts, but I think it's pretty important that a person that does give the most on their Patreon does get the benefit of being named last. And again, if you want your social network or eBay store or YouTube channel mentioned instead of your name, no problem with that. So, I'm also looking to trade comics. I did a video just the other day with an updated list of just some of the books that I would be willing to trade for one of my grails. Now, I was able to fix this so you can actually see on the screen the books that I'm looking for. Now, any of the books that I'm about to show you today for the auction, which is Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, if any of them don't sell and you want to use one of the books in here to get a trade with me, please let me know. Again, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. But I'm looking to get books in no particular order, but I would love to get my hands on Amazing Fantasy 15, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 first print, Batman #2, Wonder Woman #1, All-Star Comics #8, so on and so on that you see there. I got plenty of books that I'm willing to trade. There's some big boy books that I'm willing to trade. So I want to show people that if you are somebody that does not give up, eventually you will succeed. I want to show people that you don't always need cash to be able to acquire things that you love. remember, guys, when you do trades, you don't have to worry about the government putting their hand out and saying, hey, give me a piece of the action, because there are no taxes ever filed on a trade. So this is a way where if you don't have cash to buy a $3, $4, $5, $8, $9, $10,000 book, and you don't want to pay taxes on a $10 purchase or a $10,000 sale, trades are the best way to go. So I did the video the other day, but any of my comics or even toys that you'll see when I turn on the video camera, anything is up for grabs. You can at least ask. So if you're interested in doing this auction on Friday, again, this is the sneak preview. So anybody watching this before the auction has the ability to make an offer to me, and you can acquire any of these books before the auction. So that's the benefit of being a power viewer or an ultra power viewer. So I do accept Cash App and Venmo. Either one, if you use those, you'll get a free comic with your purchase. I do also accept PayPal. I also, for people who send either a money order or send cash, which I've had plenty of people do, you'll get 5% off of your total order, no limit. Also, if you make a purchase of $599 through $999, you can use my 4-month payment plan, where there is no interest as long as you pay for it on time. In other words, you can pay for it early, but you have to make at least the first payment the day of the auction, or the day, like for example, if you contact me after this and say, hey, I'd like such and such comic, and we agree on a price, and you need the payment plan, first payment has to be within 24 hours. If you're somebody that's already purchased from me, and I'll know who you are because there are people that have purchased from me multiple times. If you need a day or two extra, or you need a month extra on the payment plan, if it's somebody I've worked with before, I have no problem doing that. Now, any purchase of $1,000 or up, you can go up to a 6-month payment plan. Again, I charge no interest. If somebody misses a payment, it's a $10 charge. So I just want to let people know that up front. But I've never had a person miss a payment. And as a matter of fact, the majority of people in the payment plans ended up paying for them early, because basically, the earlier you pay for them, the quicker you get the comics. Speaking of getting the comics, I always send everything priority mail within 24 hours, well, 24 business hours, because if you pay for it on a Saturday at 8 o'clock at night, I'd have to wait until Monday to send it. But within 24 business hours of final payment, I always package my comics securely. They will be mailed quickly. No manila envelopes that you have to worry about. As a matter of fact, knock on wood, as I bang the side of my head, I have never had a comic damaged in the mail, because I will bomb-proof them. I ship them out quickly, priority mail, so you'll have to sign for them, and you get what you pay for. So, I'm going to go over these again, not in full detail. That will be for the auction, or if you contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and let me know before the auction you're interested in any of these comics. And I can go into further detail, because I don't want this to make this a long video. All right, so with that out of the way, welcome to Luis Ramirez. Welcome, and Lee Smith. Both of you are here. And again, the auction is going to be this Friday coming up. It will start at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, one thing I will tell you is, if you've watched any of my auctions before, probably 98% of my sales happen either before or after the auction. Most people don't bid on the auctions. For some reason, I don't know why. But be very careful waiting until after the auction, because that's why I do these sneak previews. There are many people who will buy them beforehand, so they don't have to worry about being outbid. And after the video, I give 1 week after the video is uploaded for the auction to have somebody watch it. And if somebody either didn't honor their bid or something didn't sell, they can make an offer at that time. So with that being said, let's go through the books. Now, I have 2 copies of this one. One's graded. This is my only ungraded book. So this is Venom #1. This is the gold variant. This is 1 in 11,000 printed. Now, full disclosure on this one, when I moved, this got dropped and the corner bent a little bit. So that would probably make this about a 9.4, maybe between a 9.2 and a 9.4. It's not major, but I like to be fully honest with my offerings. So one of the things I always recommend is go on eBay, check and see what the lowest available for sale is, so you can get a general idea of what the comics are worth, and you will see that I list my books lower than the lowest available sale that you can find on eBay. So if you're looking to get nauseous because I dropped the camera, well, you just came to the right spot. But if you're looking to acquire this book and you don't want to wait until the auction, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and let me know if you're interested in this book. Again, it is Venom Lethal Protector #1. This is the gold variant. All right, the rest of the books are all graded. I'm just going to show the fronts, tell the significance, and if you're interested in it before the auction, I can give you other pictures or better details. All right, so the quote-unquote worst comic. We got ourselves Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This is the second appearance of Miles Morales and his first solo title. It's a 9.6. Again, I bought this raw. It was a bag issue. Got it graded 9.6 with white pages. So if you're interested in this book before the auction, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. This one I have 2 of. These are CGC books. These I bought already graded. So I don't know if a pressing would give them a higher grade or if they've been pressed. But this is New X-Men #114. Both of these are CGC 9.8s. Both of them are white pages. With the way CGCs are giving out 9.9s and 10s, you never know. You can take the chance, but I cannot guarantee it. This, of course, is the first appearance of Casanova Nova, who is going to be in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. So I wanted to sell these before the movie happens so somebody has a chance to make a profit. Worst time to buy this is after the movie's already over. So I want to make sure I give people the opportunity to make a little money on these books before the movie comes out. So both of those are available separately unless you want to buy both. All right, next up, we got, is this Golden Age? No, it's Silver Age, but this is Peanuts #1. Gold Key 2.5. Now, if there's anything that it reprints the stories of 4-color number 878. Expensive book, but you're not talking $1,000 book, but I want people to look these up. This comes from 1963. So if you're interested in owning Peanuts #1, 2.5, cream to white pages, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Another book, this book is going to continue to go up. I know there are some that are not always high on this book, but again, it doesn't matter the print run, it matters how many people want the book. So we got Wolverine #1. It is the regular series. It is his limited series, but it's not a newsstand, but that doesn't really matter. It is a 9.6. This has off-white to white pages. Obviously, we got Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine in Deadpool Wolverine, but remember, ladies and gentlemen, Hugh Jackman's version is not ending in this movie. They already agreed that he signed up for Secret Wars. So he's going to continue, and then from there, they're going to reboot the character. Hopefully, they'll do it justice. But if you like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and he's done an amazing job, I mean, he's done it longer than anybody else that's been doing comic book movies, he's not done yet. So that book is not going to go down. It might fluctuate, but all things do. So if you're interested in that one, let me know. Again, I'm not going into full details because I want to keep this relatively quickly. Now's the time to be buying this book. Now remember, even though the actor is no longer playing Kang, they're just going to either reboot him and have another actor, but he's still going to be in the movie. He's not going to have the biggest role that he was supposed to have, but I mean, this is a character that people have been familiar with for a long time. This is a Silver Age villain. This is Avengers #8 at a 4.5, off-white to white pages, first appearance of Kang the Conqueror. And I always tell people, with certain characters, you don't need a movie for it to have value. But the movies can help. He is going to be in the movie still, so keep that in mind. Next up, this again, another book that now's the time to get it. Fantastic Four, #52, first appearance of the Black Panther. Cover is detached, but that's, understandable for a book at 3.0. Again, all the PGX books I bought raw and graded myself. So if you're interested in acquiring this book, again, I recommend going on eBay, looking to see on that specific grade what they're selling for. Look for the lowest one for sale, and you'll see that when the auction starts, I'm going to be selling them for less than that. I always work out deals because I get good deals on them. I don't need to make every single amount of profit. I want to make sure you guys can profit and I can profit, so there's a win-win. I'm not one of those greedy sellers that'll try and get the maximum amount that they could squeeze out of their viewers. All right, next up. We already know Mephisto is coming. They already signed the actor to play him. I forget his name. If anybody wants to put it in the comment section, they can. But this is Silver Surfer number 3, first appearance of Mephisto. High grade for a Silver Age book, especially when you're talking Silver Surfer books were very thick. They were like, I don't know if they were 80 pages, but they were definitely thicker books. This is cream to white pages. Beautiful color on this book. Benefit of watching the sneak preview is, if you're interested in these books, you can get them before the auctions. Just contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. This is a Golden Age book. Came out in 1949. This is Archie's Pal Jughead number 1. This has a significance. It is the first appearance of Moose, the kind of the dumb jock, at a 3.0. So you got a Golden Age key issue. I mean, you're talking the first appearance of Archie is going to be in the multiples of thousands. So he's a minor character in the Archie universe, but still a known character. There's a 2-inch piece of tape on the spine split. But, I mean, tape is not restoration or anything, especially with Golden and Silver Age books. But if you're looking for the first appearance of Jughead, first appearance of Moose, and the first issue of Jughead 3.0, contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And these books are going to get better and better. I don't sell... One of the things I hate about... I can't say hate. One of the things I don't enjoy about some other people's auctions is they sell a lot of filler books. Now, if you're looking for filler books, that's great. But if you're looking to buy, like somebody selling 50 comics for $10, if you think you're going to put your kids through college with those books, good luck with that. You got to spend money to make money. That's why I sell books like this, because I have about 10 to 12 copies of these. I've sold a couple already. I have one that I'm willing to trade in a higher grade, and this is another one I'm willing to sell because I still have, I think, another 2 or 3 of these that I haven't even graded yet. So this is Hulk number 180. Of course, this is the first ever appearance of Wolverine. Now, of course, it's a cameo, but you can't have 181 without 180. 4.5. This is a book I bought raw and graded myself, so I can guarantee that the Marvel value stamp is in here. And it has cream to off-white pages. Centerfold is detached. But when you're talking a graded book, who cares? To be perfectly honest. If you're interested in that book, you could make an offer at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com or wait until the auction. Now, I believe this is the only restored book, but I'm going to be offering this mega cheap compared to what a normal grade would be. Obviously, you're going to pay less for a restored book, but I'm going to be offering it for a lot less. This is not a cheap book, but again, it's not in the tens of thousands of dollar range. For those of you who can't afford Hulk 1 or Hulk 2, I got Incredible Hulk number 3 at a 3.0. Now, again, it does have restoration, but even with that, this is not a cheap book. The spine has been reinforced. Archival paper along the edges of interior cover. And moderate color touch. This book, just to give you an example, this book unrestored in this grade is almost $1,200. Just so you know, this is not a cheap book. Now, of course, I'm not going to be selling a 3.0 restored for $1,200, but I'll work a deal with you. Contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Next up, another big boy book. I tried to sell this the last auction people did not want it and they did not see the value in it. And I told people this book is going to continue to go up. And it's gone up hundreds of dollars since that last auction. So be very careful trying to time the market, because then you could miss out and end up paying double what you could have. So this, of course, is Amazing Spider-Man number 6, first appearance of the Lizard, 2.0. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Low grade is better than no grade, because the good thing about lower grades is it makes it affordable for more people. And whether you have a 9.8 or a 0.5, you still own the book and the characters. So this has off-white pages. And again, origin and first appearance of the Lizard. I mean, pretty much almost for the first 10 books of Amazing Spider-Man, I mean, give or take like 7 and 10, because 7 is just the second appearance of the Vulture and 10 is the first Enforcers. And I think also 8, which is the first Living Brain. I mean, unless they put him in a Marvel movie, I don't see that book going anywhere. But the majority of the books of Amazing Spider-Man's run are amazing. No pun intended. But, I mean, to get a major character, if you want to get it before the auction, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Now, this one I'm kind of reluctant to sell because this book is probably going to double in the next year or so. But I have 3 copies. I need to pay bills, so sometimes you got to sell stuff to be able to get bills paid. So, because I have multiple copies, I can afford to sell one of them. And this is why I stress to people all the time, try and get multiple copies of key books if you can get them, because then if you ever have to do a trade or to have to sell them, you don't feel as bad if you only had 1 copy, because then you don't own it anymore. So I have 3 copies of this, so I do not mind selling this one early, but this one to me is a no-brainer, and you'll know it as soon as I see it. So if you want to get this before the auction, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. We got Fantastic Four number 6. Now, many people, Fantastic Four number 5, which is the first appearance of Doctor Doom, has become unobtainium. It's become extremely expensive. I mean, a 2.0 of that book is about $2,500 to $3,000. This is not only the second appearance of Doctor Doom, and not only the second Silver Age appearance of the Human Torch, but is the first ever evil duo. How did they label it? The first Marvel villain team-up. Second Silver Age appearance of the Submariner. And for some reason they didn't mention the second appearance of Doctor Doom. But it is, because Doctor Doom is in issue number 5. So, this is off-white to white pages, a 3.5. Go look up this book. This book is not cheap. And guess who's coming to the MCU soon, ladies and gentlemen? This book is going to, in my opinion, probably double in price, if not more, within the next 3 to 4 years. So, I hate selling it, but like I said, got to get bills paid, so I got to sell stuff people want, and people want books that they can make money off of. And again, most people cannot afford Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of the keys that they have. This is the next best thing, but this ain't cheap. But if you're interested in making an offer before the auction, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Jacob says, wish I could buy another mystery box. I still have the mystery boxes for sale. Anything from a $25 mystery box to a $5,000 mystery box. So, Jacob, if you ever want to tell anybody what you bought in the mystery box and what you thought of it, let me know. But the link is in the description of this video and all of my videos. Next up, another book on the rise again. Amazing Spider-Man number 129. You'll notice if you watch the video I did the other day about books I'm willing to trade, you'll see one of these. I have multiple copies, so I do not mind trading one and possibly selling one. So it's a 3.0, so it makes it a lot more affordable. I mean, who wouldn't want a 9.8? But if you have the 9.8 money, you're going to be paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a 9.8. So low grade, better than no grade, because you'll still own the book. First appearance of the Jackal and the first appearance of the Punisher, who is going to be coming to the MCU. Off-white to white pages. There is tape on cover and interior pages, but that does not make it restoration. So if you're looking for Amazing Spider-Man number 129, beautiful cover, beautiful colors for a 3.0. You know what to do. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Next up, this one to me is a no-brainer. You want to talk about rare books from books that are not rare? I'm willing to sell this because I have probably 15 copies of this book, and I even have 2 copies of this, so I don't mind selling one. Now you're going to say, oh, New Mutants 98 at a 9.2, what's so special about that? Well, not only is it a newsstand, I am going to sell one of my Mark Jewelers variants. Most people say they're not going to pay that much money for a New Mutants 98 because it's not rare. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a newsstand is much rarer, and a Mark Jewelers variant is approximately 5% of the total print run. Which, by the way, the total print run is approximately about 850,000 copies, and that's at time they were printed. How many of them do you think were thrown away, lost, or destroyed over the years? So you're talking a high-grade first appearance of Deadpool in a Mark Jewelers variant, which, by the way, I bought raw and graded myself, so I guarantee the Mark Jewelers is not only in there, but fully intact. This is a must-own for Deadpool fans and people who want rarer books. If you're interested in this book, you know what to do. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And again, I am willing to do payment plans. Anything over $599 through $999, I'm willing to do a 4-month payment plan, which is no interest. And $1,000 and up to a 6-month payment plan, again, no interest. Big boy books, ladies and gentlemen. Giant Size X-Men #1. This is another book that I know is going to majorly keep increasing in price because the X-Men are coming to the MCU. Again, I have multiple copies of this book, so I can afford to sell a couple of them and still own it, even though I know I could make more money down the line. But when you got bills to pay and you've been unemployed like me since October of last year, this is my income selling these. So we got Giant Size X-Men #1, second appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of Colossus, first appearance of Storm, first appearance of Nightcrawler, first appearance of Thunderbird, who dies in the next issue. This is a 3.5 off-white pages. 2 folios detached at bottom staple. Folio means an entire page. So only 2 pages are detached from the bottom staple. So definitely warrants the 3.5 grade, but I always make sure I give full disclosure. This book is on the rise, and it's going to continue to rise. This is a no-brainer book. If you want to add this to your collection, you need the payment plan, and you want to get it before the auction where somebody may outbid you, contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So we got 4 more books left. These are all big boy comics. I have multiple copies of this book, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I do not mind selling one, even though I know I can hold on to this and let it continue to increase in price. If you are buying books to speculate and invest in, you don't want books going down. You want books that are going to continue to rise. This is one of them, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a reserved. It is not a qualified. It is not a restored. It is a full 3.0 with the Marvel value stamp because, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, any of the PGX books I bought raw, I verified inside and had them graded myself. So you don't have to worry about some of the controversies from other grading companies that switched books out. This is legit. 3.0, first full appearance of Wolverine. Marvel value stamp is intact. Off-white to white pages. Payment plan available if you need it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you're checking the prices on eBay, remember, not only do you have to pay the shipping cost, not only do you have to pay whatever amount they're selling it for, but remember, eBay charges taxes. I don't. So factor that into the prices when you want to look before you contact me. Serge says, Chris, can you repeat how much you're asking for the 98? As of now, I haven't put any prices. This is a sneak preview before the auction. If anybody wants to contact me to make an offer, if it's an offer that I feel is fair, you can buy that book from me before the auction ever happens. So I'm not mentioning any prices here. I'm just doing sneak previews for the auction. So you have the opportunity to buy it before the auction and make an offer, or you can take the chance and wait for the auction where I will do a starting bid and then hope you don't get outbid. So there are no prices that I'm listing on these. I'm just showing them. And if somebody wants to make an offer, if it's an offer I can't refuse, you're going to get it before the auction. There are many people that have bought from me. Like I said, probably 98% of my auction sales happen before and after the auction. I had at my last auction, I had 0 buyers on the day of the auction. But I still made about, after all said and done, I made about $8,000 because people bought before and after the auction. A lot of times it's before, but this particular last time, probably 85% of my buyers bought after the auction. So it's just weird the way it happens. But you have a chance. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com if you're interested in making an offer. Now, if somebody offers me $100 for that giant size X-Men, after I'm done laughing, I'm going to respond with a thank you, but I'll look for a better offer. But if somebody makes me an offer where it's a fair offer, and they say, I want the book and I'll pay for it right now, or you need the payment plan, I'll work with you. So just contact me and you'll see. All right, another big boy book. Got to sell stuff to make money. This is Showcase number 22. This is the first appearance of Hal Jordan, the arguably most popular Green Lantern of all time. Now, of course, that's going to be debatable with other people, but this is the character that really put Green Lantern on the map, even more popular than the Golden Age version. As a matter of fact, without looking it up, how many of you can name the original Green Lantern's name? Without looking it up. This is a 3.0 cream to off-white pages. So this is the origin and first appearance of the Silver Age Green Lantern, first appearance of Abin Sur, I don't know who that is, and Carol Ferris. Can't go wrong with this book. That's a big boy book. It's not up there with Showcase number 4, but it ain't too far behind. All right, so 2 books left. If you're interested in any of these books, and again, I'll show this really quick. I take Cash App and Venmo, which, by the way, I also put in the live chat. I'll put that right here. Okay? Cash App and Venmo, if you pay with either one, I'll throw in a free comic book. If you send me a money order or cash, which I've had people do both of, you can get 5% off your total order. And I also do accept PayPal. So you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So let's show the last 2. And by the way, anybody that wants to be kind enough to hit the like button, 6 people have already done that. Thank you very much. But let's put the video camera back on, show the last 2 books. Amazing Spider-Man, number 3. First appearance of Doc Ock. This is the time to buy this book. It's gone down a little bit, but it's plateaued and it's on its way back up again. Now, that always happens after a movie. But again, this is a major top 10, if not top 5 all-time Marvel villains, especially for Spider-Man. You can't go wrong. Issue number 3 at a pretty decent grade, a 4.0. When I bought this, the eBay seller told me it was going to be between a 5 and a 5.5. It actually looks better than a 4.0. So could it be repressed and regraded for a higher grade? I can't guarantee it, but a 4.0 is still not bad. You're talking in the multiple thousands for this book. So 4.0 off-white pages. It's also not only the origin and first appearance of Doc Ock, this is the first full-length story. So in Spider-Man, well, Amazing Fantasy 15, Amazing Spider-Man number 1, and Amazing Spider-Man number 2, they had partial different stories in them. So this is their first time in the Spider-Man franchise where the whole book is dedicated to one Spider-Man story. But of course, people are buying it for this. So if you want the first appearance of Doc Ock 4.0, contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. Last but not least, This may be I think it's considered either late Bronze Age or early Copper Age, but this is a grail and it's rare. This book, because I have another copy, I don't mind selling it. This character has not yet been in the MCU, but there are possibilities based on a character that is already in the movies that has yet to become this villain. Whether they do or not, who knows? If they do, this book is going to skyrocket. But again, you're talking a book, the rarest of the rare of this version. This ain't a cheap book. If you need longer than a 6-month payment plan for it, I have no problem with it. Just to give, well, I'll show the book first just to put in perspective. We got ourselves Amazing Spider-Man number 238. This is graded at 9.4. So you'll say to yourself, what's so special about that? Well, number one, it has the tattoos. Number two, it's a newsstand variant. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Mark Jewelers insert. So it is a high grade, and by the way, has off-white to white pages. I bought this raw, so I can verify the tattoos are in it, and the Mark Jewelers variant is there. Mark Jewelers coupons. It's like 2.5 pages, or 3 pages, I'm not sure offhand, but they're there. A 9.4 signed sold for $4,700. Now, that was a signed version, so I will definitely be taking less than $4,700. But just to put in perspective how rare this is, and that was at a 9.4. This is not an easy book to find. And believe it or not, I have 2 copies because I saw the value in them. Most people don't see the value in stuff until it's too late. Now, just imagine if Ned Leeds, who has been in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which, by the way, in the last Spider-Man movie, they were teasing him, saying he would not turn into a villain and turn against his best friend. But remember, at the end of the movie, he doesn't remember Peter Parker anymore. So that could set up, eventually, possibly, Ned Leeds becoming the Hobgoblin. What do you think is going to happen to this book if it happens? Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the regular version of this book is not rare, but many of them don't have the tattoos. The newsstand is a lot rarer, especially with the tattoos, but now you're talking the newsstand variant, Mark Jewelers variant with the tattoos. You're talking, at the time of printing, only 5% of the total print run of these existed. How many of these disappeared? How many of them had the coupons taken out? How many of them had the tattoos taken out? I would be shocked if there's more than 15 of these books in existence. Less than that in a 9.0 or higher. You're talking a big boy book there, even though it's not a gold or silver age book. So again, if you're interested in that book and you need the 6-month payment plan, or maybe you need a year payment plan on that one, I would consider it. You can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So those are my sneak previews. I would love to hear what you think. Let me know what you think about the AI art. I thought I would do like a creepy thing of like Thor sneaking through a window looking at Harley Quinn. I thought that was kind of funny. If you want to leave your critique about a good, bad, or indifferent, leave that in the comment section. If you want to thumb up the video or subscribe, that is awesome. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the auction is this Friday. It is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can purchase any of these books by making me an offer before the auction ever happens. That is the advantage of being either one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers. Those are people who watch all of my videos, because somebody may not watch this. Wait until the auction to find out some of the books have already been sold. Contact me at peacefulfeelings.com, at yahoo.com. Once again, here's our shout out to all of our Patreon members. We got Carl, we got Seth, we got Scott, we got Michael B, we got Kevin W, we got James R, and last but not least, we got Silver Age Surfer _ comics. So if you have Instagram, contact Silver Age Surfer _comics and tell him We Love Comics sent you. And if you want to be on this list, you can join my Patreon at patreon.com/WeLoveComics. There is no minimum, but I think Patreon's minimum is $2 a month. As long as you are a Patreon member, you will get these shout-outs every time, regardless of the amount. But like I said earlier, the person who has the highest amount in Patreon will always be listed last. So I will never mention the dollar amounts because that's private, personal things from the person. And I don't want anybody to ever think if they did, for example, the minimum, that they are not just as appreciated. So Jacob Morgan says there's one that isn't an MJ for $4.99. You're right. But there's a huge difference between the regular version and the MJ, the Mark Jewellers variant. You cannot find a 2.0 Mark Jewellers variant of this book for $499. So be very careful when you're comparing different books. Because like I said, ladies and gentlemen, a Mark Jewellers variant is 5% of the total print run. So, yes, you can get a $499 regular version, but you're not going to get a Mark Jewellers variant. They are the rarest of the rare when it comes to the versions of these comics. So, throw that price out the window. It has nothing to do with a Mark Jewellers variant. You know, and that's why people will pay, like, for example, for Canadian variants, you're going to pay through the nose for them. Why? Because they're rarer. When you have something like Star Wars issue #1, the 30-cent variant, yeah, you can get the regular 35 variant for probably $800, but the 30-cent variant is going to cost you probably $4,000 or $5,000. So there is huge differences between the regular versions and variants that are extremely rare and hard to find, especially in high grade. So, Jacob, I appreciate you putting that price, but you're comparing apples to oranges on this one. Serge says really quick, how to tell you a story about what my comic book shop did back in the days when I bought my first book, Chris, of 238. They took out all the stamps and was trying to sell for the spider. Trying to look for the spider. I'm not sure what you meant there because it seems like it stopped. They took out all the stamps. Oh, they took out the tattoos. Yeah, a lot of people took out the tattoos of that book. Remember, those books were supposed to be bought by comic book children or people who loved reading comics back in those days, and people would actually take them out and actually wear them. That's why, I mean, the tattoos are not rare, but they're getting harder and harder to find. And when you're talking a newsstand variant with the tattoos, and then you add on top of it a newsstand variant with the Mark Jewellers, with the tattoos and in high grade, good luck finding more than 10 of them. I would challenge anybody to see if they could find more than 5 of the Amazing Spider-Man number 238 Mark Jewellers variant higher than a 9.0 with everything intact. You're going to pay a lot more, but that's the difference between an investor who buys any comic they want to get to the ones who want the rarer stuff. So Serge says, trying to find a rare strawberry variant for the Spider-Man 238. I didn't know they included strawberries in that comic. So I guess I would honestly say, Serge, if somebody placed the strawberry in the Spider-Man 238, I have a feeling that might have been a child bringing their comic book to school lunch at the time. Otherwise, you might have just had a what they call a typo with the auto text. But newsstand variants are the way to go. Mark Jewellers variants are incredibly rare, especially for that book. Go look up, for example, a New Mutants 98 at a 9.8 regular version will sell for around roughly about $1,700. A newsstand variant of New Mutants 98 at a 9.8 will sell for about $4,000. And a newsstand variant, New Mutants 98 at a 9.8 in a Mark Jewellers will sell for $12,000 to $14,000. So the price between a regular and a Mark Jewellers variant are night and day. So Jacob just said one signed by Romita went for over $4,000. Yeah, I mentioned that. A 9.4 signed sold for $4,699 as a Mark Jewellers. That's the difference. You can get a 9.4 regular version for $499, but you're not getting a newsstand variant for that. So now you can see, and thank you. And this is why I always appreciate people verifying. I don't want ever anybody to take my word for something. Not that I'd ever lie to you, but I could make a mistake or I could have gotten wrong information. I always want you to verify. So thank you, Jacob, for doing that. And it was a Mark Jewelers variant. So yes, sometimes it's a sticker shock when it comes to those things. But I mean, there are so many people talk about, don't buy a certain book because it's not rare. And then when a rarer version comes along, they're hesitant to buy it. Well, you can't pick and choose. Well, I mean, you can. But you can't say, well, on one end, don't buy this type of book, whatever it is, because it's got so many prints. And then say, well, you shouldn't overspend on a book that's basically 5% at top of the original version. To me, it just makes no sense. But that's why I can make money even in down times when comic books have gone down a little bit. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, they're not like stocks. They will not go to zero. They will reach a certain level to where people say, wow, that's a good price. I'm going to start buying it. And what happens? It starts leveling out and it starts going back up again because people start seeing, it went up a little bit. They get that fear of missing out and they want to join back in and they pay and it increases the prices. If you don't realize that with investments, then you should not be investing. And I'm talking about anybody in general. And unfortunately, most people use emotion instead of looking at things in the long run. So the comics that I'm selling, they're books that are going to continue to be on the rise. Or even the one that may not, it depends on what they do with the character. But the book of the first appearance of Casanova Nova, I'm selling it before the movie. So if you don't think that that character is going to continue, then you have still a chance to be able to buy it and sell it before the movie comes out. I don't sell stuff after the fact. Because I want you to make money. I also want to make money. But I don't need to make a killing. But because I always buy things when most people stay away from them, I can make profits. But I don't need to nickel and dime you guys for every penny. But that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I would love to hear what you want to think about this. Once again, if you want to write these down before the auction or if you want to contact me at peacefulfeelings.com, at yahoo.com for any of these books, by all means, please do. That's the advantage of watching videos like this. You get to see the books before the auction, and you have the ability to take them away. So you get them before anybody else gets a chance. Because like I said, about 98%, and my last auction was 100% of the people who bought my books bought either before the auction or after the auction. Thanks for watching. Let's do today's surprise subscriber shout out. We're going to go with Serge Henderson. We're going to give you today's surprise subscriber shout out. And Jacob Morgan, we're also going to give it to you because you actually did a little bit of research. But before we do that, Serge says, Chris, I have another question. Is that Golden Age Green Lantern for sale you have behind you? Let's put it this way. Anything is for sale. That's Green Lantern number 11. So that's an early Golden Age Green Lantern. I mean, if somebody ever made me an offer for something that I could not refuse, anything is up for sale. Because as much as I love those, and that's why I have a lot of Golden Age books on display, I got bills to pay. So if somebody makes me an offer, and I think that's a good offer, I don't have a tremendous love attachment on that book. Now, it's not a cheap book, but if somebody wants to make an offer on anything they've seen in any video, the worst I can say is either, no, I can't accept the price you're offering, or no, that particular book is not for sale. Never hurts to try. And like I said, even my Star Wars figures and stuff like that and toys you see on the walls, I mean, I'll put the video camera back on really quick just to show some of the stuff on the walls. I mean, I got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first print, number 2. Mad Magazine. This is the first Mad Magazine. This is issue, I think, number 25. But this is the first when it became Mad Magazine, because it was originally a comic book. It's the first time they say, what me worry. I mean, we have Comic Cavalcade, number 3. All Flash, number 13. Green Lantern, number 11. Flash Comics, which, by the way, I've learned this is a very rare comic. Number 20. All Flash Quarterlies, number 3. There's the first issue of Maxim magazine with the original CD. I got some Star Wars toys. We got Sports Card Investor magazine. That is the first ever... let me bring that down. This right here is the first time LeBron James ever had a card. Now, this is the rarest of the rare. It is the Ruby version where they were only ones numbered from 1 through 100. So there are only 100 copies of this in the Ruby edition, and it's the first ever LeBron James card ever printed. It's Sports Card Investor magazine, issue number 2. There are only 100 of these in existence. Makes you wonder how many of them are still around. How many of them have been opened? How many people lost them or they got ruined? But here's some of the Star Wars toys. That's an original Star Wars Darth Vader 12-back from the Star Wars. There's an Empire Strikes Back AT-AT Commander. Star Wars Power of the Force X-Wing Fighter. I mean, any of these things are basically up for either trade or for sale if somebody wants to make an offer that I can't refuse. So I just don't want to do a video where I'm listing everything because, you know, that's a 9-hour video and most people just would not have the patience to watch that. So you can offer. The worst I can say is it's not for sale or I would need a better price. I'll leave that up to you to decide. So the auction is going to be this Friday, the 21st of June at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, you can contact me beforehand. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday morning for any of these comics you see in this video and make an offer, and you won't have to worry about being outbid or have somebody buy it after the auction is over before you had the chance to come back and contact me. Contact me, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. I can do those payment plans if you need them. And again, if you send me a money order or cash, which, by the way, if you're one of the people that's done that, put it in the comment section and let people know how trustworthy I am and how reliable I am and how quick I am to ship your books out and how safe they're always packaged. I am very much proud of the way I handle either a trade or a sale with somebody. I take a lot of pride in that. And you can get 5% off your total price if you use a money order or cash. Just make sure you sign the money order. Not all money orders need to be signed. But if it looks like, if you get them from certain places, the money order has to be signed, you'll know because there's a, like where a check would be, you see that line where you sign. If it doesn't have it there, you don't have to worry, but make sure you sign it. Otherwise, the money order does no good. But if you use the Venmo or Cash App, you'll get a free comic. And if you use PayPal, it's just whatever you purchase. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this experience. I'd love to know what you thought about the books in the comment section. If you know anybody that's interested in key issue comics, please share the link. I'm selling these comics because I need to pay bills. I need to help continue to buy the cat food for the cats that I feed outside. So this money is not going towards me going towards a vacation or buying myself a new car. It's to pay bills and to help feed the cats. I feed about 15 to 20 stray cats twice a day, every day. So it's not cheap to do. So selling these is necessary. So if you know of anybody that might want to be interested in any of these comics, please send them my way. I would really take that as a personal favor, and you'd be helping me out. Join my Patreon if you're interested at patreon.com/WeLoveComics. If you want your name up there, minimum amount is perfectly fine. There is no right dollar amount. It's the kindness and the thought that counts. But for every month you do it, your name will be up there. And if you want me to promote your eBay store, Amazon store, your YouTube channel instead of just your first name, let me know, and I have no problem with doing that. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I will see you during the auction or read your emails about offers about these books. And if you need the payment plans, let me know. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. And don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Have a wonderful day.